Good morning guys, Ben here. It's a lovely day here in the south of France, and to be honest I've been chilling on these sun lounges for the past hour and a bit, and it has been great. But now it's time to go and take some photos. Castles. Everyone loves a good castle shot. I myself love a good castle shot. It's one of the first photos that I took for my website, and today I'm going to be travelling around checking out castles throughout the south of France. Some of them have an amazing history. I've just been reading about it this morning. There were some brutal things going on back in those days. I just thought I'd quickly run through my gear that I'm taking. I have the Canon 5D Mark III with a 16 to 35mm, I guess you could say ultra wide angle zoom. I have the 70 to 200 Canon lens, brilliantly sharp lens, the best telephoto. What I do on these trips is just skip the middle zoom. I have a 10 stop ND filter, which is important to slow down your shutter speed during the day. Spare blades for the Phantom. I take the Phantom 3 Advanced. It's not the best one, but it takes great video. I've already got some fantastic videos. Obviously the controller for that. A couple of other filters, a Polarising filter and a variable ND filter. I have Gorilla Pod for this, which is the Canon G7X, which I use to take the videos. Extra cards, the GoPro for driving or foul weather shots, and another battery for the Phantom. A microphone, the Rode Video Mic Pro for taking videos. Always a headlamp for nighttime. I have a stepper filter to make sure that all the filters, which you always buy the biggest diameter filter for the biggest diameter lens you have, and then buy adapters to adapt them to the smaller diameter lenses. And of course sunglasses because it's a sunny day today. Last but certainly not least, the tripod, which I'll use. It's a 3-legged thing, Brian, with an Airhead 2 on it, ball head, brilliant tripod, light carbon fibre, but when it's windy you have a hook here that you can attach your bag onto or something to weight it down. But with this setup here you can create some pretty fantastic content, and I'm hoping that I can share some of that with you a bit later on. So that's my gear, that's my setup for today. Let's see what I can create with it. There's all of these things everywhere. Every time you use a road you have to pay for it. Put in the card. Card comes back out. Put the card back in the wallet. Car's beeping. Push the receipt. Grab the receipt. Drive off. I pushed a national park on the GPS. Didn't really do any research. And now I'm somehow driving through these tiny little backcountry roads, seemingly in the middle of nowhere. Got to this cool little, I guess it's an estuary sort of area. I don't know, I have no idea how I got here. I just sort of kept following my nose. I'm gonna pop the drone out and see what I can see. Maybe I can see something good. Let's have a look. Got a few cool shots. I think really in terms of photography around here, not too much going on. I mean, it's basically a big estuary. So I think I'm going to keep going, heading towards some of these castles. I don't want to use all my drone battery on this stuff, but it's just to get a bit more practice and build the confidence. Well, if you could smell the smell of salty air. And that's because I've arrived at the Mediterranean Sea. Kind of wish the weather was a bit better and I could go for a swim, but it doesn't look like there's many people swimming here. I can tell you already I want to take a shot of this. So I've had a nice cruise around the beach. It was really nice, really nice. But now I am going to head for some castles. I promised castles, I've got to deliver castles. Enough of this faffing around. I'm going to start this way so that I can surprise you. I've arrived at castle number 1 for today. I'm hoping there's going to be 2. Second one I'm looking to get to a bit later in the day as the sun drops a bit. But check this out. Look at the moat. A shadow of its former glory, no doubt. But what a spot. Can you believe it? It is massive. I got the shot. This place is crazy. Can you imagine how hard it would be to attack that? I mean, now I think I understand why they built them like that. It must be about, I don't know. What's that? I've done a lap of the castle now, and it's sort of all much the same from all the angles. And I learned from yesterday at Carcassonne that going inside really isn't all it's cracked up to be, just because there's just so many people and it's sort of touristified, if that's a word. If not, it is now. Copyright. I'll put all the details as to the location and the name of it on my website, the link down below, so make sure to check that out if you have some time. I'm going to head off now onto the next one, which is much higher up in the mountains and a bit more sort of unique. It's in ruin, it's not sort of made to look good like this one. You see they've sort of repaired all the parts that have fallen into ruin to make it a nice tourist spot. This has been my staple diet today. Ham and baguette. It's not the healthiest. Check this out for you Americans. Look how narrow the streets are. It's crazy. The buildings end where the road begins. There's a fruit stall. These villages keep getting narrower and narrower. Look at this. Just because I'm the kind of guy that I am, I'm going to include a bonus castle that I found on the drive up here. Way up there. Way up there. So that was part 1 of my day in the castles in France. Unfortunately the video is just so long at this point, I've had to break it up into multiple parts, otherwise you'd be sitting there for days wondering, why did you do this to me, Ben? So if you want to see the next day's videos, hit the subscribe button down below and make sure to keep following because they'll be coming out in the next couple of days. As always, thanks for watching and take care.